Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the September 13th episode of the Cyber Insecurity Stream. Yes, my name is Neil Bridges, and thank you for joining me today. Welcome to all of our new joiners as well as our regular visitors. Still love to hang out and chat in pre-stream and talk to all of our new folks. See everybody who's coming in and tuning into us for the first time or for the 1,000th time. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'm so glad you're here with us today. Real conversations with real people. That is direct from one of our guests, and you can catch us here every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See, that's what happens when you don't change your notes. And Friday mornings at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Cyber Insecurity channel, now on YouTube. We really are here to have real conversations with real people about the state of cybersecurity and really elevate that conversation to a much, much broader audience. And the reason we do this is because we have a real problem in our industry where we don't have real conversations about the topics that affect our industry, the people in it, or the companies that we protect. And because cybersecurity is an ever-changing landscape, our goal as a whole is to focus on multiple aspects of that industry. You are not, listen to me. I pause whenever I say this, right? Because this has become such a quintessential element of our stream, right? You are not, no matter where you are, out of your league on this channel. And when I say no matter where you are, right? No matter how many years you've been in cybersecurity. I don't care whether you're in negative cybersecurity years or you're in dog years, right? In cybersecurity years. I don't care what side of the spectrum you're on. We don't care about any of this, right? No matter your discipline, we don't care what your discipline is. We have all walks of life here. We have red team, we have blue team, we have risk and governance. I see my friend Nitronic Deer, hanging out in chat. We have risk and governance. We have lawyers. We have plumbers. We have everybody. It doesn't matter your discipline. It doesn't matter. We're here as a collective group to discuss the industry impacts of the current landscape and the art of the possible when dealing with today's cybersecurity issues. And that transcends years of experience in the industry, and it transcends your discipline, right? We really are here to focus on the impacts of the current landscape and the art of the possible with dealing with today's cybersecurity issues. So, whether you are an experienced veteran, welcome, share your knowledge. Whether you're new to the field, welcome. Soak up as much knowledge as we can give you. We're here to give you that knowledge. Whether you barely know how to spell cyber, C-Y-B-E-R, just in case you're wondering, or somebody who is born into cyber, this stream right here is for you. We're here for everybody to learn and participate from our community. No professionals tonight on stream, just this guy right here. We do have moderators in chat. I always want to personally thank each of my moderators, each and every stream, for their dedication. Really super quick note about moderators. Moderators are here to keep chat free of sexist, racist, misogynistic, elitist, and otherwise toxic behavior. We have a zero tolerance for toxicity here on this stream. Zero tolerance. It will not be tolerated. That was one of the reasons why we chose to move away from Twitch, is the toxicity. I also do trust my moderators explicitly, and their decision is final. If you were put on a timeout or a ban, you appeal to a moderator. You don't appeal to me. They are not here, however, to stifle chat. Absolutely not. Moderators are here, as a matter of fact, to make sure that your voices get heard. You have a voice here, and we want everybody's voice to get heard. With that being said, I'll be answering questions on stream. Your questions are so incredibly important to all of us. They really are the prime value that comes from this stream being live. Nowhere else on the internet do you get access to as many cybersecurity professionals and resources as we have here, especially when we have our guest here. And so take advantage of this stream being live. You have a benefit of being here that most people who are going to watch this VOD don't have. So take that benefit to your advantage. We do ask, however, that you ask your question only once. Just once. Asking it more than once may be considered spamming. might result in a timeout or a ban. I do promise that our moderators, all the moderators that we have, do see your questions. They see all the questions. They see all. They know all. Ooh. And they do make sure that we get as many questions answered in our time on stream together. So we do ask that you ask your question at any time about any topic, whether it's something we're covering on stream or top of mind, and we will all do our best to address them. Speaking of moderators, I want to give a huge shout out to our moderator, BSEC. He is in Texas. He is hunkered down as the hurricane passes through them. BSEC, sending you positive thoughts and hoping you are doing good. So you can tell I didn't update my script. I almost said we broadcast via Twitch. No! We are in the process of transitioning away from Twitch to YouTube. Hence the reason that you are catching us live on stream on YouTube is that we are in the process of transitioning away from Twitch over to YouTube. Lots of stuff to be had in terms of talking about why we're transitioning. We can talk about that, answer those questions. It's also on Discord as well as a stream posted up a week ago. But we do broadcast via YouTube for our regularly scheduled broadcast. You can also find VODs here on YouTube. We will be transitioning all of our old VODs over to YouTube. Bottom line is, do make sure you hit that exclamation point socials. Do get access to all of our social media accounts. Those are the best places to stay up to date on all stream news, all stream happening. Make sure you are current on that. We do post a lot of content on Instagram, do post some TikToks up as well. So when we say get access to the socials, we mean get access to all the socials. At the end of the day, we are here for you, the community, and we do strive to bring you the most intriguing opinions, points of view, and conversations in the cyber industry each and every stream. We appreciate all our followers. We appreciate all of our subscribers. Appreciate all of our members. First and foremost, I want to thank all of our veterans for their service and sacrifice. Thank you so very much for all the things that you do. I'd also like to thank our partners in no particular order: Battleship Security, Attack IQ, Elastic, Query.ai, VMware Carbon Black, Net Abstraction, Josh Mason, the Cyber Supply Drop, and of course, At Root Beverages, who apparently have gotten so popular. Thank you very much to the cyber insecurity community that they are out of stock for 5 more days. It's going to be 5 days till I get my next shipment of At Root in. That shows you how popular that stuff is. That stuff is amazing. Listen, super important about our partners. We may know no qualms about it. We are very open about our partnerships. Partners provide prizes and discounts to you, the viewers. When I say prizes and discounts, look at what we did last Friday. Look at the massive amount of stuff that we gave away last Friday. We talk about all the stuff that our partners contribute to. Everything that our partners do contribute to make sure that we have something to give away to you all each and every single time that it's available. We have partners who do nothing but go out there and buy training, give it to us to supply to you all. So my ask is that you hit those exclamation point partners, you learn about our partners, and at a very minimum, please at them on any of their social media accounts and let them know that you saw them on the cyber and security stream. That does help us out, which helps you out in the long run. At the end of the day, we ultimately do this for you, the viewers. None of this would be possible without you, and so our biggest thanks goes out to you all. We have been, and we will continue to deliver you content as long as we can. Any and all proceeds earned on this stream go directly to improving the quality of the content and the giveaways of this stream. That is something that we genuinely love to do so much, is give so much away. It is something that has truly become a staple of this stream. So we have some things to cover down on before we get into our main topic for tonight. Our main topic for tonight, I did post up on the socials today, is we are going to review the CyberSN job tool stated as Pwn Your Career. Talked to Deirdre earlier today. We'll be chatting with her hopefully sometime in the coming days as well to get her feedback on that. But we'll get into that here in a little bit as well. I think we will see. Yep, there we go. We got CyberSN in chat. I did see that CyberSN will be joining us for chat tonight, so super excited to have them in chat as well. All right, real quick, if anybody will pay attention to this side of the screen, I found some new widgets to add over to the former chat location. You can see that we have a hype cup right here. I see that those icons are a little small, but obviously we're trying to fill the hype cup. We're trying to fill the hype cup. We did also find a hype train widget right up here at the top. So you can see that we do have a little bit of a hype train going on. Super excited for the hype train. Let me know if those widgets are helpful, beneficial. We decided to forego the chat because, YouTube has chat done differently than Twitch. And so we felt like having chat over here was a little bit too noisy. Felt like this was probably less noisy. We'll see how that goes. We also did get vMix Social fixed. I want to thank the team at the vMix support line for helping me fix vMix Social. As you know, that's one of the primary mechanisms that we use to push questions down here. vMix support team was very, very kind in reminding me that the issues that we had were definitively a PEBKAC issue. So thanks for that, vMix team. Real quick on the logistics, I do want to point out we have added membership tiers. One of the things the move over to YouTube has given us is the ability to create actual meaningful membership value. If you notice on Twitch, right, you really only had like tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 subs, and like the only thing that I could give you for a tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 sub was more emotes. But if you actually head on over to our membership page, you'll see that we've actually added some valuable things to the membership tiers. First and foremost, we do have several members, and I do want to give a huge shout out to some recent members that we've got coming into the stream. I should have done a better job of pulling that up. We've had 6 members just in tonight's stream alone. I want to thank you all for your support of that stream as well, for your support through the memberships. I'm trying to stall as I pull up the page. You'll notice when we talk about over on the membership side, those of you who have membered up as the basic mentorship, right? You'll notice that one of your perks, right, is personalized career feedback video. Okay. So what I've done is over on Discord, and you can hit the exclamation point Discord and get access to this, is I've created a Discord channel just for you who have that membership tier. You could feel free to drop your resume in there, drop your LinkedIn in there. Not only will I do the resume review, but I will actually do a video for you, similar to what we've done on the live streams. It'll be personalized just for you. It won't be as rushed as what we do on stream. It'll be something that is very, very personalized just for you. And so make sure that you do, the folks of you who have joined up on that basic mentorship, do make sure you drop your resumes, drop your LinkedIns on that channel over there on Discord, and I will start to get your personalized career feedback videos out there for you. For everybody else who joined in on the Narwhal Prime, you will see that there is a Discord over there for monthly resume and LinkedIn reviews. What we decided to do is we've moved away from the way it was on Twitch, where if you just had a tier 1 sub, you could send your resume to an email address, and we would review those resumes and try to get those emails back out to you. We've gotten so many of those requests that we've just decided to do that as a regular stream piece of content that we do once a month. And so you will see a special Discord just for you all, where you could drop your resume in, you could drop your LinkedIn in there. And when we do our monthly resume and LinkedIn reviews, we will actually go into that queue, pull out resumes, pull out LinkedIns, and do your reviews live on stream. There's no guarantee that yours are going to get seen. That is a giant pool of resumes and LinkedIns that we will pull from to do a review. But I guarantee you that we will do a resume and a LinkedIn review every month, and that is the pool that we will use for resumes and LinkedIns. So, obviously, lots of things that we're trying to do to give you all more benefit, more value for your support of the stream. So constantly looking for that feedback. Make sure you post feedbacks to me either in Discord or on the community post, and let me know if that stuff is valuable to you. Do want to thanks to all of our new members that we have had joined up today and since we started streaming on Friday. You can see that we have added a ton of emote slots. So we've brought over most of the emotes over from Twitch, added them here as well. So you should access to all the cool emotes that we had over on Twitch, with the exception of the hype train ones, we'll get Sec IT guy to gen up some more emotes for those as we grow those up. Awesome. Content wise, don't have anything new and awesome to talk about just yet. I'll ask Carmen, see if there's any questions. I think there was a question from Fasochi that I wanted to just kind of push real quick. Maybe. There we go. See, yay. I'm so glad vMix Social's working. The reason I wanted them to push this, Fasochi, it's funny you say that. Neil MF Bridges showed me the light. I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it up on socials tomorrow. Make sure you're on socials. Make sure you pay attention to it. I have a poster right there. It's on this wall. You can't really see it. It's off stream. It's on this wall from where we were at the schoolhouse. And you'll actually see that they put the name Neil 46 in Bridges. 46 is hex for MF Bridges. So I saw that one on there, and I was like, I want to show you on socials that picture because it'll tie directly into that one. So excited for that one. Okay, you can push another one, Carmen, if you want to. Otherwise, I'll talk about stuff tonight. So we see everybody. You know, YouTube is definitely a little weirder than we originally thought. I know everybody's getting used to all the weirdness that comes with YouTube. We're all growing on it together, so just, you know, it is what it is. What are the other cascade of transitions? Trying to think about what I can talk about now versus what I should wait and hold everybody in suspense for a little bit later. Obviously, the move over to YouTube, you know, was planned. We've obviously made the move over to YouTube. Chris Frazier and I have been working on you know, obviously some stuff with the website. The website is coming up. With that website, there is going to be some new stuff that you're going to see off the channel. You'll notice that on some of the member perks, there are some member exclusive videos. There are some member exclusive live streams, and we are evaluating LMS platforms, learning management system platforms, to see if there isn't educational content that I can produce in a non-competitive fashion to INE that we can make available to the community as well. So there is a massive play. That's the only tip that I'll kind of give you right now, just to show you the direction of some of the stuff that we're moving in. But if you noticed, there is a Neil Bridges now on Udemy. There's been some stuff that's been posted on Udemy under my name. We are evaluating LMSs. We're doing a lot of things to try to bring more content. We're trying to really expand that content portfolio out. And so lots of cool stuff that's on the horizon. We're super excited about a lot of the cool stuff that we've got going on. Chris Serrano says, question, how do you feel about CompTIA certifications? Is it worth the investment? No. Next question. Not a fan. After we, Nick Barker says, after we connect to an influencer, what is the best way to cultivate a lasting relationship? Treat them like a human. Have a conversation with them. Right? Listen. I should show you all sometime the messages that I get across my socials. And I don't say this to bash people who send me DMs, right? But there are some DMs that I get across my socials that I wish were a little bit more thought out. And I'll give you an example. I get DMs all the time, and those DMs are, hey Neil, I saw you on David's channel. I've watched all your videos on YouTube. How do I get into cybersecurity? That's a hard one, right? Because if you watched all my videos, on YouTube, you would know what my answer was to that question. And so like, I think the thing to do, right, is if you're going to try to build a lasting relationship, you have to work on it just like you would work on any relationship. And so this goes above and beyond, saying something meaningful, right? You have to learn to establish a relationship. If you look at the people that I talk to constantly, if you look to the people that that I've talked to frequently, either in Discord or that I talk to frequently on stream or that I talk to frequently via text message, right? Those are people that we have a relationship with because we've gone back and forth in. And I'm talking about viewers like yourself, all sorts of folks that, come into my DMs and they ask me for questions, they ask me for advice. I got this one guy. He's a recent addition to my DMs, and he messages me every day. And every day he says, "Hello, sir, how are you?" And I respond with, "I'm awesome. How are you?" And he says, "I'm great, sir." And then he asks me a question. But he asked me a question like, what type of laptop should I get? Or what program can I use to wipe all my data so that it's completely undiscoverable? Right? That is you taking and taking and taking and taking from the person that you're connecting with. And so my biggest advice to folks who connect with anybody, right, when it comes to building a lasting relationship with anybody, is to think about it like a relationship. If you're just going to ask for and ask for and ask for and treat that relationship like gimme, 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 especially if you're already saying that it's an influencer who you know is probably out there giving their content away for free anyway, I would put a little bit of thought process into some of the questions that you're asking and seeing if there isn't a better way for you to establish that lasting relationship than just asking for things all the time, right? So that's the biggest advice that I can give you. Has the stream moved totally to YouTube, or what days of the week are still on Twitch so I know where to tune in? No code. Make sure you got notifications on. To your question, this is our second stream on YouTube. I'm feeling pretty good about some of the kinks that we're working out on YouTube. It would probably not surprise me if you don't see our stream go back to Twitch in the next 30 days. I think Brandon and Jack, they have their own transition plan, and I'll allow them to create their own transition plan for when they plan on transitioning away from Twitch. But as I get more and more comfortable inside of our platform or inside of doing it in YouTube, I will probably continue to do my streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday here on YouTube, quite frankly, just because like changing stream elements and changing Streamlabs to go back and forth between Twitch and YouTube is a disaster. And so I may just stick it out on YouTube for a little bit longer. Thank you, Darkin, for hooking up that membership under that basic mentorship. Looking forward to some of those personalized video reviews just for you. Maybe an odd question. There's no such thing as an odd question here. We dig them all. What kinds of things does an employer look at in a background check? Do you think misdemeanors would allow you to get turned away from jobs? I absolutely do not. And I think, I'll volunteer DevNull Zen in chat, both in Discord and here. He has got some amazing advice on that arena, and so I definitely recommend him as somebody who's personally lived through that. But now here's what I will tell you. If you're going into something like, I see DevNull Zen. Hey man, you're awesome. You've got great advice. I got to put you on a pedestal. Of course I'm going to put you on a pedestal for that. Absolutely. Welcome to the limelight. See what happens when you're famous? It depends. I've seen this problem in FS, in financial sector. Financial sector has this quite a lot, where, depending on your background, they may have some particular issues with you in the financial sector. In energy, DOD, any of the government contractors, those types of things. Yeah, security clearances might be another story. Yeah, all that stuff definitely probably, could be a long-term issue. But outside of that, fundamentally, I think it's just a matter of you finding the right niche and the right place where that's really not an issue. And those jobs do exist out there. You may just have to try just a little bit harder than everybody else to get there. All right, couple more, maybe 4 more minutes, and then we'll roll into our main content for the night. Sarcastic Rant says, not sure how to do a proper in YouTube. Check my spam, but nothing there. So I guess I'll just keep waiting unless Neil wants to give a quick update on the exam results timeline. The exam results should have went out on Friday. I know a bunch of people posted and tagged me in some exam results that went out on Friday. And it looked like there were a lot of people who passed on Friday. So if you're not getting exam results, I would double and triple check spam folders and the likes, maybe mail support and things like that, because I do know that exam results for the fundamentals did go out on Friday. Deb Knowles in with the super chat, $4.99. Thank you so much, sir. Hey, Neil, today we're seeing all technology is migrating to cloud and container technology. How can we find some deep vulnerabilities in those technologies? I mean, look, finding vulnerabilities is like finding a needle in a stack of needles, right? It's not easy work, basically, is what I'm saying. You get poked a lot. Sometimes you find something awesome. Sometimes you don't, right? How? You go out there, you research those technologies. You go out there, you research how they're being implemented. You go out there and you utilize the tools and technologies that are at your disposal to find those vulnerabilities. If you're coming here and you're wanting me to be like, go use this tool because this tool will help you find vulnerabilities in cloud and containers, that is not what I will do, number one. And anybody who tells you that if you come and see their content, they'll tell you the exact super secret sauce to finding vulnerabilities and things like that, they are lying to you, and it is clickbait for views. When you look at how people are finding vulnerabilities, when you look at how they're going about, doing these, it's through manual research. It's through a lot of reverse engineering these technologies, figuring out how these technologies are implemented and how they're working, and then taking that one step further in understanding how those technologies might have vulnerabilities that can be exploited, right? And so, I would say, like, how can you go out there, learn the technologies, learn how to reverse engineer them? And when I say reverse engineer them, not necessarily taking them apart from a code perspective, but understanding how to view those technologies in their, in their technological setting, and things like that. And then just putting forth the effort in terms of trying to find potential vulnerabilities with them. Thank you to Carlos for the membership. Welcome to the Narwhal Prime Club. Bobby Applegate says, love your videos with David Bombal. I'm a director of technology for a school district and looking to add some cybersecurity certifications to my resume. Suggestions on certs for a CTO. Listen, if you're trying to add cybersecurity certifications, you're already a director of technology and you're trying to move into the CTO realm, CISSP, man. CISSP, all the way, right? Listen, here's the thing. I think you should take the courses that allow you to know some of the technical stuff. That way you don't lose that edge when it comes to technology. I'm a huge fan of keeping that technological edge, right? So go take PTS, which is free on INE. Go take some of the cloud certifications that are out there. Or at least go take the content so you learn the technical stuff. But if you're looking for a certification and you're looking to move into the CTO realm, you got CISSP written all over you. You got CISA, CISM written all over you. Pretty much anything from ISC squared written all over that. All right. Is that the last question we're going to push? No. Let's go ahead and let's go over to our main topic for tonight. We'll continue to aggregate questions, continue to drop those in the chat. Mods will continue to pull them up and kind of pull them up just in general. So for tonight, we will have Deidre. I think I mentioned that earlier. We will have Deidre Diamond on at some point in time in the near future. Deirdre is she is the CEO, founder and CEO of CyberSN. Cyber SN. Cyber SN is kind of a cybersecurity jobs and career marketplace. Reading from their LinkedIn profile, right? They're doing online matching to full service recruitment. I know that Gerald had Deidre on her show shortly after Black Hat. I know that during Black Hat, Deirdre had released her Cyber SN tool. I didn't get a chance to see her presentation at Black Hat. Hate I missed out on that. I know that we've been talking to Deidre for a while, and so what I decided to do instead of having her on and talking about her tool is I decided to do something in reverse. We're very huge fans of looking at tools and doing kind of these cold reviews of tools, just kind of playing with them for the first time, and you guys get to see my first reaction to the tool, things I like, things I don't like, my critiques of it and things like that. And so we decided to pull Cyber SN up. I have never seen this tool before. I did not watch Jerry's video on it at all whatsoever, so I have not seen Jerry's feedback on it. I am coming in completely and totally cold into this tool. And so my reactions are completely and totally genuine. My feedback is my personal opinion based on what I'm seeing right here at the moment. And so take it for what it is. I'm not here to promote Cyber SN. I'm not here to say that this is the definitive tool, but there have been a lot of people that have talked really good about it. As a matter of fact, AJ Nash, who we've had on stream several times before, and who's a good friend of mine, he ran in and raved on my comments section about Cyber SN. And so the bar is definitely set pretty high on this tool. And so what? Yes, I see. There she is. She is here in chat. Deidre is in chat. Oh boy, here we go. We've got the pressure of the tool owner in the chat for the first time. In full transparency, Deirdre did message me at 5:15. She did say that the experience of building a profile will be different tomorrow as the release happens tonight. So did not get that message till much later. So we will be seeing an experience today that will then end up be different tomorrow, but be that as it may, we're still going to roll into this one cold. We'll see how this goes. Awesome. Let's see what we got here. Ready for this? Let's roll into this. Let's see what we got. Okay, cool. That worked. Awesome. As with new things, all new things, I'm using vMix desktop share on my Mac to NDI transmit over to vMix, which is on a dedicated streaming computer. So that's why there was a little bit of that, like, okay, is this going to work perspective? Because I wasn't really sure if this was going to work. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm not going to critique your web page because I am not a web page master by any stretch of the imagination. What I will see is pawn your career. I like the way that looks. Cyber SN, find jobs, build your team, career and hiring center, provider exchange about sign in, join now. Okay. Know your worth. I like this. This is definitely a common. I couldn't hear what you said. Yeah. Thank you, Siri. Thank you, Siri. Apologize for that. Know your worth. You know that we're huge fans on the stream of talking about know your worth. Let's see what's under know your worth. I'm curious about that. What's under know your worth? So what I'm hoping to see here with the know your worth is some realistic salary information. And I don't mean Glassdoor. People who have heard me speak know that I think Glassdoor is the biggest scam, one of the biggest scams that are out there. And so I'm looking to see how close this looks compared to what I'm expecting to see. We've got lots of stuff here. I like this. Let's start with offense, just because I think that one's easy. There we go. Took a little bit. All right, here we go. Offense. Let's go with interesting. You got Threat Hunter listed under offense. Don't necessarily know that I agree. Whoa, what just happened there? There we go. A little slow. Come on. Come on. There we go. All right, let's go with pen tester here. Let's see what we got here for pen tester. All right, so we got a pen tester role here. Okay, like this. That's not bad. Okay, not bad. I think this role overview does it. Does some good things. Pen tester may also be referred to as adversarial engineer. Okay, so I like this. Okay, so this is nice. So this gives an opportunity. So I if I'm reading this correctly, the way that I'm reading this, right, is this gives you the opportunity to say, you've heard all the rage about pen testing, right? And so you want to be a pen tester. But when you go to look for job opportunities, the job title that may be referred to on the job description may not necessarily be a pen tester. It may be listed as something else. And so it looks like what they're doing is they're giving you the opportunity to see what other job roles may exist on those job applications than what you've got. The only thing that I think is missing, if this is indeed the case, right, is that we know that some organizations aren't mature enough to have dedicated job titles for things like this, right? And so it looks like you might be missing out on security engineer, security analyst, right? Some of those very, very common security roles that may have penetration testing responsibilities buried in there without necessarily having them on the job titles. So I think that there's, that's a little bit of just one of those reality checks that I think is very, very important, is that, and I give an example of this, right? If in every Fortune 100 company I've ever worked at, they were still using old IT nomenclature, professional, engineer, analyst, that type of thing. And so it was a cybersecurity analyst. It was a cybersecurity engineer. It was a cybersecurity architect, right? And those denoted the levels that were there. And then just in the roles and responsibilities, it would say penetration tester in there. And so I think that this kind of omits corporations like that who haven't matured into having a dedicated penetration tester job description. Let's see what we got here. Red teamers. Does this do anything when I click on it? No, this just highlights over. Okay, so map your career path by understanding role relationships. Click on what happens if I click in here? Okay. That was weird. Why is that? Okay. So, I see. Got it. It's just you've got an extra bar space in here. You're supposed to. All right. So, okay, that's fine. So I see what you did here. So cybersecurity lead. So then you pick in here your penetration tester, and then you can pick cybersecurity lead. Gotcha. Red teamer, security researcher in here. Come on. It's loading. It's loading. There we go. Ooh, look at all this. Okay. Interesting. A lot to see there. All right, we'll dive into that here in a little bit. A little weird there. All right, let's go down here. Average salary. Based on experience, salary for this. All right, so I like this. Okay, this is more realistic than what we've seen coming out of things like Glassdoor or the like, right? I think one of the things I'd like to see on this, like this gives a pretty broad range for penetration tester, right? I think that there's probably some expectation setting that comes in here. And I don't mean things like, whether you work in San Francisco or whether you work in rural Idaho, right? I'm not talking about that. I think it's fair to say a brand new, fresh junior penetration tester with 0 years of experience, or even 0 to 3 years of experience, is probably struggling to make 120 grand. I'd say they're probably struggling to make 100 grand. And so I think that there's probably some expectation setting that needs to be in here that says national average, in parentheses, 5 to 7 years of experience in this industry. This is where you should be at. I think that this average salary is slightly misleading, because I think this bottom end, this top end, I would totally buy off on. This national average, I would totally buy off on for 5 to 7 years. But the way this reads, when you read this, I don't see anything in here that talks about your experience. All I see is that a penetration tester. And so if I'm a brand new penetration tester, I'm like, cool, I just got my PTS, I just got my EGPT, right? I'm ready to go for my first pen testing role. And I walk into a HR person and I'm like, hey, according to CyberSN, the national average is 150,000 for a pen tester. I want to make that type of salary. Whoops, there we go. I would like to do that. Whichever mod has their mic on in my ear, can you please mute yourself? Thank you very much. Okay. Sorry about that. That was really annoying in my ear. I usually don't get distracted, but I was hearing a really bad echo in there. I do think that this is slightly misleading. I definitely changed this out. Responsibilities, seeking to identify breaches digital systems, threat action strategies. We're talking about Yep. Completely agree with this. Tools and environment. No search. I think this stuff is very surface level, but I don't mind it. It's very surface level, but I don't mind it. Okay. Certifications, category offense, organization, CompTIA, Crest, EC Council. I like that you have Crest in there. I definitely like that you have Crest. Covers a lot of the UK overseas organizations that are there. EC Council. I see you repping the eLearn security. Liking it. My only ask just for the INE plug is if I get that changed out from eLearn security to INE, that'd be great. But we can talk about that later. I like the depth that you've gone in here on certifications, right? I like that it looks like you're going out there and you're definitely finding all the organizations that have certifications. This makes it feel very cert agnostic. I really like this, right? Because I think that this, and this is something I've been a huge advocate of on the stream, is that this breaks down the barrier that there's only one pen testing cert, or that you have to have OSCP, or you have to have, CEH to get into this space. And so as a fan of this type of model, I'm really, really glad to see that you're putting all of the available certifications that are out there, because that is definitively the type of message that I think that we need to be sharing, is that, hey, everybody, if you're looking to get an offensive cert, there are a lot of things to choose from, and that choice is very, very important. So you definitely get an A+ in my book for having tons of certs on here. One of the things that I think I might like to see, and it doesn't have to be here, maybe it could be like a little footnote here, is how did you determine if a cert made this list? And I'll use Heath's cert as an example just to see if I can see it. I didn't notionally see it. If I missed it, then I apologize. It's not intentional, but I don't see Heath Adams, PNPT on here as well. And so, and I'm not saying that it has to be on here. What I'm saying is, if it's not on here, and it's not meant to be on here, how are you differentiating the certs that go above the line versus below the line? Because I think what we lack in this industry is a transparency mark that says, why didn't this certification go above the line versus why didn't this certification go below the line? I know that there are a lot of certifications that are out there. And so I think some level of transparency needs to be said down here about what went above or below the line. Okay. And again, I'm not here to say whether Heath's courses need to be on this list or not. That's not the purpose of that. I think what my point is I see some that are missing. Let's get a transparency report on what went above and what went below the line. CyberSN provider exchange, the training courses, services, products, and DEI providers you need to take control and accelerate your success. Okay, so this looks very advertising. Okay, so this looks very advertising. I'll leave that be. I'll leave that one be. Chat, you can interpret my opinion on that. Chat, you can interpret my opinion on that. Okay. So, generally speaking, like the way this career center is shaping up, I think a lot of the information on here is very, very beneficial. Like I said, there are probably some things that I'd like to see change, but overall, if what I just saw here for penetration tester, if this is the same across all of these, I'm going to give Career Center 8 out of 10. Like the information that I've seen so far, definitely like that. Let's hop over here to Hiring Center. Let's see what we got here. Confidential public profiles. Okay. What if I click on? Ooh, look at this. Penetration tester, 25 to. What happens if I click on one of these? What just happened there? Wait a minute. Okay, so browse all profiles. Okay, so clicking on that demo profile did not take me to that specific profile because I was really curious. What penetration tester living in Daytona Beach, Florida, only wanted to make $25,000 to $50,000. I really wanted to see like what was on that profile of that penetration tester, but I see that was clickbait to go into this page of security professionals that you've got here. Track it. Track it on that. Let's see if we got this one right here. Can we click on any of these profiles? I'd like to see what one of these profiles looks like. Can I click on this profile? So it goes over here to this side. Oh, okay. So I see now. You've got a left side and a right side. You got a left side that you can scroll and see the profile, and then the right side is got it. Okay, so let's see what this profile looks like. Security engineer, location, willing to relocate. I don't know if it's my screen, but this grayish font's a little wonky to read. Willing to relocate, yes. Authorized to work lawfully, yes. No visa. Confidential clearance, high school certifications, no. So that's it. That's what you get for kind of like the freebie version of what it is you get to look at. Oh, here we go. Oh, sorry. Scroll down a little bit more, Neil. Pay attention. Oh, okay. All right. 30% identity and access management. Okay. 15% AppSec. Program rights. So, all right, we'll probably get into this when we get into building a profile out, but these feel like they're probably your canned statements from where somebody completed a profile. 5% leadership. Interesting percentages that you have here. Interesting. I don't immediately know how I feel about that. Do all these add up to be 100? Where's my math whizzes in chat? 30, 15, 45, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Yeah, 100. Everything does end up being 100. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. We'll reserve right to take a look at that when we get into the profile build. Not really sure how I feel about that one just yet. All right, let's. I think that's it. I'll kind of reserve my right on Hiring Center. Not sure how I feel about that one necessarily just yet. We looked at Career Center. All right, cool. Let's dive in and let's join now. I am a cybersecurity professional. I mean, most of you probably know my email address anyway. It's not really that hard to find out. It's going to show up on every page too, probably. Oh, an activation email has been sent. Stand by one while we receive our activation email. We should put on some music. Oh no, there we go. You almost got some questions answered while I waited for an activation email. Copy link. Let's paste this guy up here. Paste and go. All right, cool. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, we got password screen. Hold on, password screen. Let's fix that. Okay. All right, cool. Now we're in. All right. All righty. We've just created our profile. Let's see what we're looking at here. Welcome aboard, Neil. Thank you, Captain. Glad to be here. All right. This reflects you and your work experience. Yep. Fill out the About section of your profile. The more information, the better for our matching algorithm. You can rest assured that your most confidential information is only shared. Add some career experience. Adding up to 5 years of career experience gives the best picture of your skills. Okay, cool. All right. Dashboard. Let's see what we got here. Matches and messages. I like it. Profile incomplete. That's nice, big and bold. Let's add some experience. Let's go with INE. Job title. Okay. All right. Can I add my own? Can't add my own. I can do not specified. Cool. We're going to put CISO in there. All right. Employee start date. When did I start there? I think I started there in March. Let's do that one. I currently work here. Industry. Let's go with education. Employment type. Definitely entry level. Definitely entry level. Permanent. I was like, where the heck is permanent? All right, let's see what we got here. Select roles and define task. Okay, interesting. Select up to 5 roles from the list of roles below and define how they reflect the time you spend at work. Okay. Okay, so probably because I selected CISO, you automatically selected management for that. Select up to 5 roles. 1, 2, 3. Oh, a server error. Request failed. Dun, dun, dun. Does not like that. Whoa. All right. All right. Doesn't like this for some reason. Refresh. Refresh. All right. Let's try this again. Let's try this one again. Next. Okay. So we can't test this one out fully because that's interesting. So have to make a couple of assumptions here. Auto-populated this based on my role as a CISO. Don't necessarily like that I can't pick anything else from here just because I selected a CISO as a role. If that's like it is everywhere else, not 100% sure that I care much for that. Leadership, business enablement, can select. Okay. Can I select a bunch of things from here? Okay. So this all looks good over here on this side. Okay. So that does the next. Oh, okay. All right. So this was that percentage stuff that we saw over on the candidate side, over on the hiring side. So then you can say, okay, so we can define any of these percentages that we want. Okay. Okay. So, like this is cute. I like this. This is cute. So I do see, I can see the value on this, right? Because if we were to select a role as a pen tester, I can see where, it helps you to identify where your strengths and weaknesses are in terms of how much work you've done in one particular area versus not. Okay. All right, so we won't get into all of this. So we've got that. So can I find jobs? All right, cool. Let's go. Let's see if we can't find some jobs to apply for. What type of job are you looking for? Okay. So nobody read all the other jobs that you could potentially have from your screen before. So I'm sure everybody's just going to come over here and go ethical hacker. I want to be an ethical hacker, right? So let's go see what we got here for jobs. Okay, application security engineer. That's an impressive salary for an application security engineer with multiple locations. Oh, they're in San Francisco. Yeah, okay, that makes sense then. Work from home allowance 5 days. Visa transfer not available. Technology will not pay for relocation. Technology AppSec. So what's interesting about this, chat? What's interesting about this, right? Whoops. That's what happens when you have multiple monitors. What's interesting about this, you notice that it's pretty devoid of must have 15 years of Kubernetes experience, right? Or must have, 8 years of, other experience, right? Or experience using Metasploit or experience using Kali, right? You can see that it's very, very specific in the AppSec realm to these types of skills, right? So I think that there's definitely a plus side to this type of job searching, because from the job seeker's perspective, it takes away from that, well, I don't have Python experience, or I don't necessarily have experience with Parrot, but I've got experience with Kali, right? Or I've got experience with Parrot, but I don't have experience with Kali, right? I think it removes some of that back and forth that happens with job recs that we see, and it makes it very like your responsibilities 80% of the time are to perform application security testing. I like that it's got this. It talks about other job details. I don't see an opportunity here, at least in the way that this is presented, for a gatekeeper, if you will, to put some artificial bounds in this job description. And for me, that definitely gets a 10, right? That definitely gets a 10. I like that. This keeps the job postings very much focused on the job role. I can't apply. I'm not sure why I can't apply. Maybe it's because I don't have an incomplete profile, which if that's the case, if you're not letting me apply because I don't have a complete profile, it'd be nice if you could let me know that one. That'd be super helpful. Let's check out another job role. Let's see if my theory holds true. So they do list certifications down here. Man. So in one breath, I like that you're removing some of the gatekeeping by poorly written and poorly worded job descriptions, right? I like that you're removing that. I don't necessarily know that I like the introduction of gatekeeping through certifications, especially since you, CyberSN, you are aware of all of the existing offensive security cyber certifications, and yet you're saying CEH and CISSP, at least in this, requirement, will, need to be met to apply for this job, right? And so I'm not a fan of this. If this is kind of the intent of this, is to say, well, this is a gatekeeping cert, especially when you have a whole list of offensive security certifications, and yet you're saying CEH is the acceptable, reading into this, right, that CEH is the required certification for this role. So I take my 10 back down to maybe a 7 for adding in some gatekeeping certs in on this. And so again, you do it here on this one, right? So again, you CyberSN, of all of these offensive hacking certifications, but you're going to gatekeep down to just one. And I know I've talked to hundreds of recruiters throughout my time period, right? And I know that you all have the opportunity to inform your clients of the emergence of all of these existing cybersecurity certifications that exist out there. I think it would behoove you that this is reintroducing gatekeeping to a platform that I think could actually be doing some good in breaking down some gatekeeping services or some gatekeeping requirements. I think you do it a disservice by reintroducing mandatory certifications on your job postings. That's one I disagree with. But for the most part, I like the way that these job roles are laid out. I like the way that I fundamentally like generally how this is at. What I want to do, okay, good. This is what I want to do. I want to declare everything. I want to look at types. So you've got internships and you do have entry level. Let's look and let's see what you have here for internships. No matching results. Okay. Would like to, when we talk about gatekeeping, would definitely like to see more of those types of roles added in here for internships, entry level. How about consultant, contract to perm? No matching results there as well. Okay. We'll give it time. How about gig work, part-time work? No matching results there as well. Okay. Give it time. We'd like to see more of that coming in here. Obviously, you know, the massive amount of people that are coming into cybersecurity would love to see these, you know, types of roles in there as best way possible. I know that that's kind of dependent on the clients that you may have as a recruiting company, but I think not having these types of roles in there somewhere might be, you know, kind of limiting. Compensation. Okay. Functional roles. Okay. So these map up to when you go to do your career profile, and then distance obviously is there. Okay. So on the job search side, not bad. I'm going to go with, I'm going to stick with my 7 out of 10, right? You get a plus. Here's the thing. Here's what I'll say. You get a plus because the site appears to break down barriers, right? The way that these job descriptions are written, they feel very much like as long as you match these skill sets, you're a fit for this job. And I think that is something that is well past overdue needed in our job career goal. I very much like to see this, right? I like the percentages. I think the percentages are great there. I think seeing this one as a customer support manager, right, with 60% project management, I think that's an innovative, very, very unique, and I like that approach. I very much like that approach. I think what detracts from it, in my, and again, just from my personal opinion, take it for what it is, but when we get down here and we tell people that the only way for you to Sorry, I got really distracted because when I selected ethical hacker, I saw a bunch of security architect roles. There we go. There's a penetration tester. No? So I selected ethical hacker, came down here to functional roles, penetration tester, red team. But yet, for some reason, I'm now back to customer support manager, cloud security engineer, identity and access management, security director. Not sure what I broke. Ethical hacker. There we go. Got it back now. Okay, cool. Got some of it back, at least for a little bit. Was it this one that we were looking at? No. Penetration tester. Was it this one? Yeah, this one right here. Right? So back to what I was saying before. Like that you have this percentages, like that you have the job task. What I don't like What I don't like is that you then reintroduce gatekeeping by limiting certifications to these certifications when you know that there are so many other certifications that are out there. And again, I say this to the CyberSN team. If you're in chat listening to me, I think that it is a disservice to take on a client who says, well, I only want somebody who's got CEH, and for you not to say, do you realize that the education and training market has changed so much that there are now this many offensive security certifications and you're asking for 3? You realize the level of gatekeeping that you're doing. You realize how much harder it's going to be to find you a candidate if you only allow these 3 certifications, right? When you say it like that, that's the problem that I have with this, is that it reintroduces gatekeeping in there, right? So that's why it's a 7 out of 10. Overall, though, like the way this is. What else can we look at here? We did find jobs. We looked at Career Center. Let's go to resources. All types. Oh, because we got podcast. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So again, probably just wouldn't mind knowing what the boundaries were entry for those podcasts. Obviously, those aren't the only ones that are out there. I don't see Gerald's stream on there. I don't see, I don't see a lot of other streams that are out there. I don't see Hackers and Hexians from Jax. Probably, there's the resources section. I know is hard because there are a lot of things that are out there. So would like to kind of know the criteria for making this. Do like that you've got NIST and NICE down here. As well. Glad to see that's making headways more and more. Free courses. Always a huge fan of free courses. You know that those always go to the top of my list when it comes to free courses. So again, you could be here. Would like to know kind of what the barriers to entry are to get here, because there's obviously quite a lot of free resources that aren't listed here. That I think could be very, very beneficial for here as well. All right. So, whoa, did it sign me out? I'm signed out. There we go. Thank you. Sign me back in. All I did was I just went away. Search jobs. Okay, cool. So applied jobs just allows me to apply to them. Gotcha. Okay, find jobs. And then like I said, I imagine I can apply when I get here. So, not a bad platform. I'll see if there's any questions that were from the audience that I could answer specifically about the platform. How does someone with no experience pick a job title? I don't think you look at job titles at all with no experience, Darkin. I think what you do is you have to read roles and responsibilities, right? That's one of the reasons why I really, really love the format, right, of this website, because you can look down here as a security manager and you can see what your responsibilities are and what the percentages of those responsibilities are. One of the things I like so far about this site is there is a lot of information about the different job titles, about the different job responsibilities. Again, like I mentioned before, this percentage breakdown when it comes to the things that you will be doing in this, in this particular security manager role. This I like, because to your point, Darkin, it is hard to sift through all of the different jobs. Like if you go to LinkedIn, oh my God, I know I've talked about LinkedIn on stream before several times, and we've tried to focus in on how to best search LinkedIn to look for what it is that you're looking for. But I admit it is a disaster sometimes, right? That's why I think that the best thing to do is to focus in on these job responsibilities and then kind of let those shape the narrative of what your job title is. If you have no experience, this is why I think, to the CyberSN team's credit, the fact that we can look at internships, we can look at entry level positions, right? We can look at some of these part-time roles, right? We can focus in on, listen, we have a huge problem in this industry where we don't focus in on new entries into the career field. And so I think that this type of resource will help you to understand what types of jobs and what types of job titles you can look at. I'd go back over to this Career Center. I'm still pretty impressed with what's over here in this Career Center, right? If anything, what I would advise, test your own theories, right? Go to this Career Center on the CyberSN page, go peruse through the types of careers that you'd like to have. Start up here at the top, look at compliance, defense, development, educate, manage, offensive plan, right? Look at these job title, or look at these areas, if you will, up here at the top, and then go from there into the different job titles that are listed in those particular areas, then dive deeper into these particular areas and see what job titles are listed. And then you could then end up using these same job titles to say, go back over to LinkedIn, go back over to Indeed, go back over in those areas and use these job titles to look for roles on their sites while this one gets populated out. But I think even from a resource perspective, taking that path is incredibly valuable, and it should help frame your thought around the different types of job titles that you should be looking for in your career search. Nick Barker says, could those listed certifications be preferred by the employer? They could be preferred, and I don't mind. Listen, this is a fine line to walk. This is why it's Neil's opinion, right? This is why it's Neil's opinion. Could those listed certifications be preferred? And again, I go back to the examples I've given before. Typically speaking, the hiring managers that are writing these job recs, right, they got those certifications because those were the only certifications that came up when they were coming up in the industry. The CyberSN team has done a fantastic job, as we've seen, finding all of these other certifications. I think, and this is Neil's personal opinion, I've not discussed this with the CyberSN team at all, but you've heard me say this opinion on stream. I think it is the responsibility of HR managers and the recruiting agencies that are out there to say, hey, hiring manager, you are misinformed to think that these are the 3 preferred certifications that are out there. Are you aware that these other certifications exist out here? They have been industry recognized. Here are the 10,000 people who have endorsed these certifications on LinkedIn. Here is where they've appeared in publications. Here is the status that they have in the community. You should really consider the candidate pool that you're limiting it down to by saying you prefer these 3 certifications. I think that is responsibility of recruiting agencies. I think it's responsibility of HR teams to make hiring managers aware of that. Okay. And so whether they're preferred or not, I don't necessarily agree with that. And I think that is what is contributing to gatekeeping in our industry. And so my press to everybody who hears my voice is that they should be breaking down those barriers to gatekeeping. And part of those barriers to gatekeeping is to not necessarily limit a job post to a certain number of certifications. Is this free? How is this different from LinkedIn Jobs? Yes, this is free. I love that it's free. They probably make their money off of the companies that are choosing to use to recruit from them if they're like any other recruiting company. So this to you as a job seeker is probably free. How is this different than LinkedIn? I think that this gives you more career-minded information. Right? I think this gives you more career-minded information. If we go back and look at these different job roles, right? Now, I'm not a huge fan of this career mapping. I'd like to see this career mapping maybe shaped up a little bit, but let's take it for a second, right? Let's say you get to this page and you're like, oh, I could be a red teamer, an AppSec engineer, a cybersecurity leader, a security researcher, and you can pivot from here into, say, a security researcher. This lets you know that you may be thinking pen tester, but hey, there's this entire world of other things that you may not necessarily know exist out there as a job role. And so then you can kind of come over here and you can see all of these other things that that are available to you from a career path perspective. And you can kind of see in this lane, oh, shoot, security researcher, I didn't know that dovetailed into being a cyber threat intelligence analyst. And now you can piggyback right over here to a cyber threat intelligence analyst, see all of this information, and then again, getting down here to the salary information. I think this, Nitronic Deer, I think this is what makes this resource of information more comprehensive than LinkedIn, right? Is the fact that you could take a career approach, you could take a skills-based approach to your job search, whereas LinkedIn is probably more like Indeed, where you need to at least know, right? If we hop over here to LinkedIn, you would have to know the job titles that you wanted to look for to search inside of LinkedIn. Inside of here, you can pick it based off of role. That's why I'm a fan, because listen, when you look at the questions that we get on stream, the questions we get is, Neil, how do I get a job as a pen tester? How do I get a job as a threat intelligence industry? How do I get a job as a threat hunter? How do I get a job as a threat researcher? You don't hear people say, Neil, how do I get a job as a security analyst level 1? Right? How do I get a job as a security engineer level 1? Right? Right? Because those are corporate taxonomies, not career path, career centric visions, right? And so the thing I like about this profile, the thing I like about this solution, if you will, is that it gives you a career-centric approach to your job hunt. So I think that's how I would say that it's different than LinkedIn, if anybody were to ask me. So is this for entry-level experience or both? Great question, Fasochi. It looks like because they have in their searching capability, it looks like because they have entry level as a checkbox, there will eventually be entry level roles in here. We know how that is, right? We know that those are some of the hardest roles to find that are out there. And so it looks like the short answer, yes, you will be able to find entry level roles. You'll be able to find internships in here. What I know is very, very hard for the CyberSN team, as well as it is with any recruiter that is out there that I've talked to, right? We've had Joe Hudson from HuntSource on here. We've had Carla Redford from Orpheus on here, right? What I know is very, very hard is to actively be able to seek out and find specific entry-level internship type roles. Again, from an industry perspective, I think we need to make a more concerted effort. I'll give you an example. I can't tell you which partner I was on the phone with earlier today, but I can tell you I was on the phone with a partner earlier today, and they wanted us to talk about, one of their services that they were, kind of wanted to have out there and make awareness of. And I said, hey, listen, here's the trade-off for talking about your services. I want to see some internship slots opened up or some entry-level slots opened up for your brand new service offering, and I'd like to be able to offer those up to the community. It takes a diligent effort for us to step forward and say, hey, I like what it is that you're doing. Where are you opening up roles for entry-level folks to be able to get their foot in the door, to be able to to take advantage of these new opportunities that you've got, right? And so, that's more philosophical and principle than it is related to CyberSN and the platform. But I think that there needs to be a better diligent effort that's done with some of these companies. Is, hey, look, I'm happy to advertise your $225,000 information security director role, right? But what are you doing for the new entry-level folks, right? What are you doing to solve the 550,000 open cybersecurity roles that exist in the United States, right? Or the 3.3 million across the globe, right? Where are those entry-level roles? Where are those internships, right? Can we get some contract roles, right? Where can we help narrow that gap out? And I think there needs to be more diligent effort on that front. but it does look like from the small soapbox item. Feel free to drop the soapboxes into chat for that one. That's definitely a Neil soapbox item, but it does look like from this screen they will eventually have entry level roles listed in here. Chris Frazier comes through, says doesn't have an account. Do they need to create one or see the job rec first? Not sure what you're referring to. I think you have to create an account to see or to start applying for jobs. It looks like you can. If I log out, I think we could log out and see some of the jobs, find jobs here. Yeah, so I'm logged out now. You can see that I can go through being logged out. And see, I can still see jobs that are listed here from being logged out. So it looks like you can see jobs even when you're logged out of the platform. So I think you can go here and just kind of hunt around, but then I think, apply. Yep. Yeah. So you have to have a profile to actually apply for it, which I think is fine. I think that's completely fair. I don't actually have a problem with that. I see no problem with them asking you to create a profile. I think that their profile, here's what I will say. I do like their profile mechanism. Well, thank you very much for that. There we go. I do actually like, I have to say, creating this profile was definitively easier. If most of you have tried to submit your resume to some of these like Workday sites or Taleo or whatever the case is, it's a miserable experience. It's an utter miserable experience. So if CyberSN on the back end is forcing hiring managers to fill out a template, and then they're forcing you to fill out a template in hopes that they could, match up your templatized skills with their submitted applications, I'm actually super okay with that. And I'm a huge fan of, hey, go do your profile and see if there's anything that you can match up with. I actually don't think that there is a problem with that at all. Yeah. This view, what I would ask the CyberSN team, just because I like this view very much. I know I can see it here. I know I can see that view here. I'd like to see that view somewhere else. And maybe it's because I don't have my profile complete. And if that's the case, then okay, so I can kind of see it here as well. Okay. So this is completely and totally aesthetic, and I have zero problem saying that at all. But this little color graph wheel that you have right here, that's visually appealing. I like that. When I've been in junior pen testing interviews, I've been asking for about 80K. Does that seem to be the correct ballpark? That's what I think. Obviously, the CyberSN team has a different perspective. God, if junior pen testing roles are up to 120 for baseline these days, then all the more reason for me to envy you all coming into pen testing right now versus when I coming out of the military. But this is also why, listen, this is why I get back to the feedback that I had before over on, as soon as the site comes up, over here on these salary roles. The range is nice. But I think it's a little misleading based on the years of experience. I would still attest, at least when I hired for a pen tester a year ago, it was about a year ago when I hired for my last pen tester role in the US, 80K is still a good price to pay for a pen tester, and it's a good price to get at a junior pen testing role. And I would say 65 to 85, 65 to 90 for an entry-level junior penetration tester. Yeah, that's as a CISO, SOC director, hiring in that role, that's what I think. That's why I think what's missing from this across the board is national average parentheses, with 5 to 7 years of experience, right? That type of thing. Yeah. BSEC, BSEC comes in the middle of a hurricane, and the immediate comment he makes is, "Sweet, VMix is working." Yes, it is, BSEC. Welcome to the stream. Would a genre of certs be a better idea? Offensive, defensive, architect, DevSecOps, etc. I could buy off on that. I think if you were to put like a classification of certs on there, like must possess and offensive security cert, right? Any of the ones that are listed on the site, right? I don't know what's happening. I did it again. I selected penetration tester. The first one's a penetration tester. Then I got a SOC project manager, security project manager. That has literally no pen testing skills built in there whatsoever. Go back in here. Pen testing. Yeah. Cleared the filters. Cleared all the filters. Still selected pen tester. And I get SOC, information security director, and a security manager. Yeah, I agree with you, DevNull Zen. I think down here at the bottom, must possess any of the listed offensive security certifications. I could buy off on that a little bit better, especially if it was going towards like saying, hey, look, if you're in this realm, because like, look, when we go over there and we look at the certs that are listed there, instead of doing all the back and forth, I'll just hop on over there and we'll go back over here to these certs. All right, here we go. Like, there's a lot of certs that are listed here, right? And it's everything from Pentest Plus to OSCP to CEH, right? There's a lot in here. So you're giving the job seeker an opportunity to find whatever cert matches them, which is good, whether it's from a price point perspective, whether it's from a learning perspective, whether it's from an instructor perspective, whatever the case is. I could totally buy off on adding that as a genre of certs kind of down here at the bottom here. Offensive certifications, right? You've got the categories here. I would just change that bubble from OSCP, change that bubble to offensive secure certs. Absolutely. How to post experience when you have none. You talking about when you build out your profile? All right, cool. Can I delete this experience and let's try to build this? Can I build this with no experience? Can I delete my experience? Yes. Trash can. Love trash cans. Cool. I have no experience. Hire me. So we're in a profile. Let's see what we can hear for experience. Let's see what we got here. So this is a free field. Let's go with confidential job title. Oh, no, here we go. Here you go. Some of you, let's go with this. Here we go. HackerOne. Bug bounty. What have I always said on the stream? You better be out there on HackerOne right now with a profile doing bug bounties. There's some experience. Employment start date. When did you start that? January this year. You currently work at this role. Industry. Is security listed here as an industry? Let's go security software. Employment type. Look at here. Boom. Gig work. Just like that. Cool. Awesome. Now you got all the OPSEC stuff here. AppSec, pen testing. Oh, that's because you got these down here. Okay. Incident. Let's take incident response off. Let's take threat hunting off. Let's go with research hardware, research software. Oh, nope. Let's not do that. Let's go with researching hardware. Let's go with red team. Boom. Next. Awesome. There you go. You have no experience. Yes, you do. You better be over on those bug bounty sites doing some bug bounties. There's your experience. That's how you build a profile out. Let's see what else we can do here. Let's go with, let's see here. Let's go with Premier Banker. Job title. So I know that this is what you're getting at, Snooki, right? When you're building out your profile, the job titles here don't warrant themselves to somebody getting into cybersecurity, right? You can't say, I'm a premier banker and I'm trying to get a role in cybersecurity. So where am I going? You know, how do I mean, you could probably do not specified. Yeah, job title not specified. Oh, but then it doesn't allow you to... Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So you can still select roles in here. So there are some ways that you can kind of game this system. This is why I keep telling you all, go to HackerOne, go to BugCrowd, sign up for some bug bounties, right? Start signing up on that platform, because at least then you've got that one line of experience that says that you're doing gig work over on HackerOne, right, to do bug bounty stuff, right? But I will say that's probably a potential other knock. That's a good question, Snooki. Snooki Smush, reach out to me on Discord. You, my friend, are getting a prize for a fantastic question tonight. I will find a prize to give you. That question is deserving of a prize right there. This build out your experience does not necessarily cater itself to somebody who didn't already have a career in cybersecurity, who is trying to land their first job. And so, yeah. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Say that again, Carmen. Oh. All right. Okay. So, like that. Let's yeah, let's go to the next question. Yep. Is that percentage self-assessment? It looks to be that way. I think I remember seeing, yeah, right here. Yeah, you can change 75% AppSec. But here's the thing. It'll only allow you to go up to 100%. So you can't say AppSec 75% and then 95%. Yeah, see, it'll bump you over like that. So you do have to pick and choose the different numbers that you would use to add those up to be 100%. But it is completely self-assessed. And I think that this is also why they limit you to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we go back here, select up to 5 roles in the list. That way, when you're up in here, it's divisible by 100. So it's 20%, right? But I think if we do, can we do this, Burp Suite, Veracode, AppScan, Zap, next. Okay, see, yeah, so it still doesn't. Yeah, so it's still kind of... So basically, these percentages correlate to these 5 roles here, right here on the left-hand side at first, right? So, yeah, everything has to equal up to be 100%. And it's self-assessed. I created a profile on CyberSN a few weeks ago. This stream has made me realize I need to get off my butt and build it the rest of the way out. Awesome, Josh. That is what we do. Help people get the boot to get off the booty. Wonder if CyberSN could also track your try hack me progress. I think that is. I think that that's definitely a feature request that you could probably put in. I would still concur that is definitely something that should be. You know, I still think you put it on your LinkedIn. I still think it's valuable from a skills and an education perspective. And so I think it would behoove the CyberSN team to consider that as a feature request as well. Awesome. That appears to be all of the CyberSN questions. I appreciate that. Overall, I'll be building a profile out. I'll definitely be building a profile out. I'll see what kind of job opportunities they've got for dusted out penetration tester, threat hunter, CISO, on the rebound and see what's out there. I definitely think this definitely gets added to my list of resources. We're definitely going to put this into a video, into its own dedicated video. But overall, excited to see this grow and take shape over the course of the next few months. I'll ask Carmen to see if she wants to push any additional questions that may have been hanging out in queue that were potentially not CyberSN related. Actually, now that I'm done over there, come back over here. Awesome. Hello, Neil. What are your thoughts and experience on the cybersecurity market in Europe, even on certs like OSCP versus EJPT? Mixed. I know that Crest is huge in the UK, which is why I was happy to see it on CyberSN. I definitely, I could definitely attest from my days in the military, having seen Crest, having seen the rigorous, type of, mandates and things like that they put onto things. That Crest is definitely, high speed. In Europe, I know that prior to INE buying eLearn Security had gotten hooked up with Tiber EU, which is the threat intelligence backed ethical red teaming organization out of the EU to get a lot of the eLearn Security certs approved by Tiber EU. All that being said, I've always noticed that EU has got a lot more guidelines that have very specific requirements. If you think 8570 on steroids, that's a lot of what EU does. But I still see people getting jobs, breaking that mold and breaking that system. And so I think that it is coming around. It's probably just a little bit behind, what the US is doing from breaking down those gatekeeping. CyberSN, is it international or just American? I think I just saw Lisa in chat say English only for now. From a job perspective, it's honestly going to have to be a CyberSN question. I don't know if Deirdre or Lisa are still in chat. If you're taking job recs from overseas or not, I'll let one of our CyberSN colleagues. Okay, international English. So. Neil, how is the cyber job chart coming along? Next question. Still in beta, Fasochi. Still in beta. We got moving and shaking things going on. Hamzik says, "Hey Neil, is finding vulnerabilities hard? I'm not so good in programming." Is anything hard? Like, I hate to be cynical about it, right? But I think hard is relative. Look, when I found my first 0 day, it was because I accidentally stumbled on it, right? I was doing a pen test, and I was trying to do a social engineering engagement, and I stumbled across a 0 day in a web app doing a pen test, right? It just kind of happens, right? There are some people who literally spend their entire days and nights looking for vulnerabilities, right? And they would probably argue that they've spent their entire career trying to be experts in finding those vulnerabilities. And so they would probably tell you that it's pretty hard. So I think it just depends on what your strengths are, depends on what you can and can't do. It's hard to answer that. Is it hard or not? How do I get into basic mentorship? Go to YouTube memberships, find basic mentorship, and hit join. And then once you have that, go over to Discord. You'll see a channel that you can then submit your LinkedIn and your resume to, and I will do a personalized video, put it up in that exclusive membership section for you, and you will have access to said video. Is CyberSN only for the private sector, Jay? Not sure what the future plans are for the CyberSN team. We will have Deirdre back, so any of the questions like this, whether Deirdre wants to answer them in chat or whether she wants to answer them live on stream when she comes back, we'd be excited to have Deirdre on stream and answer questions like that. Absolutely. There you go. There's an answer from Deirdre in chat. Would the ECIR be a good cert to get after the EJPT? Absolutely, 100%. Pugon. I think there's not enough blue teamers out there. There's not enough incident responders. I think that's a good way to balance out the pen testing jobs with the incident response based jobs. Tyler Black, Navy vet. Tyler, thank you very much for your service and sacrifice. I do have a question. Can we get a transcript emailed to us if we don't catch the stream when our LinkedIn and resume is reviewed? Here's what's going to happen. If it is during the monthly resume and LinkedIn review, there won't be a transcript, but because we're over on YouTube, now the VODs will be immediately placed onto YouTube instead of having to wait for me to take the VOD down from Twitch, re-edit it, and re-upload it over into YouTube, which quite honestly has been the biggest pain in my neck when it comes to trying to make the content available on all the platforms. If you're part of the mentorship package on the membership, it will actually show up as a video that is only viewable to you, and you can get access to it there. Not necessarily a transcript, but you'll get access to the video. Wonka Fans Only says, what is INE doing to increase the branding weight of their certs? Everything you see from a marketing perspective is what we're doing. All of the money that we're putting into our brand, hiring a dedicated chief marketing officer, Scott Cedarbaum, is in that as well. All the media appearances that you see me and all the other executives doing, working with HR teams, working with recruiting agencies. I personally do a ton of reach out with recruiting agencies to talk to them about our certs by being an advocate for exactly what it is that we're an advocate for on the stream, which is that all certs are created equal and that you as the student should go and pick the cert that you feel adequately prepares you for the job. That way it's not a competition about whose cert is better than whose cert. You, the student, get to decide what cert is better. But by going and picking the one based on the instructor, based on the content, based on the one that helps you in your day-to-day job, which is, what it really should be for a free and fair, type of system when it comes to certifications. Real last call for questions. We're gonna wrap up a little early tonight. Last call for questions, but we will go ahead and take a few more questions before we call it quits for tonight. Devnol Zen says, with low experience in the resume, is it proper to list certifications that are in progress? Listen, when I write resumes, I don't ever put anything in progress. I don't ever put anything in progress, right? Listen, if you think about resumes as a whole, right? They're a sales pitch to get you the interview. If you think about certifications are a trophy that shows that you got education and training. Notice the key there. Education and training, right? So if you are getting education and training, that's what you should be putting on your resume. In parentheses, it would behoove you to put the certification that you would ultimately get when you complete the education and training, but you are getting education and training in pen testing student. In parentheses, the EJPT comes later as the trophy to prove that you got the training. But on my resumes, I put education and training, and I document the education and training I got with the certifications being in parentheses. That's personally how I do it. Is INE going to be the next SANS? Do you think HR will actually acknowledge INE someday? INE will never be SANS. INE will never, ever be SANS. You know why? Oh man, I can't say that. INE will continue to be INE, which will continue to be awesome. There are this is one of those times where I have to put on my chief content officer at INE had. There are some things that I can't say out loud that I would love to say. Catch me in sub chat one night. Maybe I'll say it in sub chat. Do you think HR will actually acknowledge INE someday? Absolutely, 100%. I definitely think that will happen. Leonardo Gutierrez says, any companies that you recommend to apply for in the DMV area? Interested SOC Blue Team. Is that Dallas Metro Division of Motor Vehicles? Not sure what DMV is. Listen, I don't think you should look for companies in areas, right? I think when you look at companies, I would look for companies that match your values. I would look for companies that allow you to work remote. I mean, if you really want to go into the office, more power to you. If you're in the, I'm just getting a mod in my ear that's telling me it's Washington D.C. D.C., Maryland, Virginia, Washington. I would go, man. PwC's got a huge presence in that area. I think Deloitte does too. Listen, you always hear me advocate for the Big Four, right? You'll always hear me advocate for the Big Four. Like if you're looking for interested in SOC, Blue Team, malware research, go to a consulting company. If you're looking for a SOC role, I wouldn't go to any company in the Maryland, Virginia area for a SOC role. I don't think there's any good companies out there. I think actually the Midwest has got really good companies when it comes to SOC Blue Team. Out west, out in the Silicon Valley area, definitely good for SOC Blue Team. And I think they're doing them all remotely. So, but malware research, a lot of that stuff, I'd go consulting, 100%. JC Kennedy says, I'm a Security Plus cert and people are constantly asking for experience. An entry-level job should not require over a year experience. What is the hype about cyber if people don't want to hire us? JC, that is all that we are focused on. Not all of it we are focused on, but that is why we get on some of the hype trains that we get on. This is why we get on some of the high horses that we get on, is because cybersecurity has too many gatekeepers. This is why we review sites, tools like CyberSN, is to see if they provide opportunities for folks like yourself, to get access past some of these gatekeepers. The problem that we exist, and the problem that I will continue to harp on, is that we have hiring managers that are not being properly educated by HR teams, by recruiting teams, on the certs. We have HR organizations that are taking job descriptions from old IT organizations and trying to just rubber stamp apply them to cybersecurity. It is a lot of uneducated ignorance that is happening on the part of the hiring side of cybersecurity. And unfortunately, where you feel the brunt of that is on the entry-level roles, right? And so as sucky as it is, this is a growing pain of an immature industry. And yes, I said that out loud. This is a growing pain of an immature industry, okay? I know that we like to think about cybersecurity as having been around for years. When we talk about, how long cyber has been around, how long security has been around. But when you look at us as a career path, when you look at us as a career progression, when you look at us as an HR function mechanism, we are so incredibly immature. We're so incredibly immature, right? People do want to hire us, but we have terrible systems in place that facilitate that, or that encourage bad habits. I'm studying now for OSCP. How can I practice the labs, but not on their official website? Try Hack Me and Hack the Box. Try Hack Me and Hack the Box. They're going to be your friend. And if those are too expensive for you based on the area you live in, go do free Capture the Flags. Those are the best ways to do that. Hands down. I have no job experience in cyber, but I'm currently in school graduating in the spring of 2022. Should I start on certs now, or would it be better to wait? I'd start on certs now. Why wait? Listen, I'm not a fan of waiting for anything, right? I don't care if you're graduating spring of 22, 23, 24, 25. Don't wait. Don't wait. Your career doesn't wait for you, right? Your career starts when you start, right? Start your cert journey today. Start your try hack me journey today. Start your hack the box journey today. Start today doing capture the flags, right? Start today building a LinkedIn profile. Somebody hit exclamation point LinkedIn in chat. Go take my 1,000 Connect challenge on LinkedIn. Go build those 1,000 connections on LinkedIn, right? Right? Don't wait for anything. Listen, if you wait, it will pass you by. It will pass you by. Please don't wait. Go crush it. Go slay it. Will there be a musical adaptation of your new book? Yeah, we're going to have BSEC sing to it. I've already volunteered BSEC to DJ to my book. Thoughts on a cyber insecurity company in New World? Next. I have no experience in cyber, but I have 7 years of experience in a NOC service desk. I just started a cybersec role. What would you suggest for me to jump on in order for me to be effective? Look, you're not done learning. You're not done learning. Just because you got your first role doesn't mean you're done learning. So my advice is still the same, right? My advice doesn't change just because you got your first security role. Go do your hands-on. Stay proficient on all your hands-on stuff. Continue to take all the free training that's out there. Continue to network, right? Pull on that thread and allow that thread to take you to places in your career. Okay? Here's the reason, it's a non-answer to your question, and I admit that. But here's the problem that I have with your question. The problem I have with your question is you assume that because you got your cybersec role, right, that there's nothing else for you to do to be effective. You're not done learning, right? Learn what's important for your cybersec role. Is it a blue team role? Then go learn more blue team stuff. Is it a red team role? Go learn more red team stuff. Is it GRC? Go learn more GRC stuff, right? What you should be doing is you got your hand on that thread. You got your hand on that cybersecurity thread. You're now pulling every day at your job, right? What did you learn today? What did you learn today? Seriously, I want to put it in Discord, put it in chat, all the things that you learned today, right, for your very first cybersecurity role. Then take that list that you've got and go out there and research all the things that are associated with that list. Then go down every rabbit hole that is associated with pulling on that thread. If you want to be effective, you've got to, at the risk of sounding like a movie cliche, you've got to follow the white rabbit down the rabbit trail, right, to be effective in this career path. And so you don't just stop just because you got your first cybersecurity role. You continue to pull on that thread, and you continue to learn as much as you can. You continue to be effective. Best way to learn OSCP for free? Man, there is nothing for free. There is nothing for free, right? It's going to cost you something. It might cost you time, right? But there's nothing for free. Listen, I can't tell you anywhere where you can go learn OSCP for free, right? You can go learn all of the concepts. Listen. The syllabus for OSCP is online. So you can go learn all the concepts in OSCP on YouTube by looking at the syllabus. But if you're looking for somebody who posted a video up that says, here's how you pass OSCP for free, good luck finding one of those that's of any quality. Right? Good luck finding one of those that's got any quality on there, right? It's one of my biggest problems with Udemy, right, is that you're so sus on the quality that you're going to get of the training that's on that platform, right? And so, listen, I know stuff's expensive, which is why we try to identify all the free resources on this stream that we can, and we try to give them to you. But if you're looking for go pass OSCP for free, and here it is, good luck finding it. I think I've heard tale of people doing prep videos on YouTube. Go find those, right? But all they are prep videos, but it's not the OSCP materials, right? This is why I'm also a fan of going to take INE's pen tester student, because it is at least a full-fledged, full-blown junior penetration tester course that you can take completely and totally for free, right? So this is the hardest question to answer, because I know you're going to say, I don't have the money. It's so expensive. INE is so expensive. OSCP is so expensive. The training is so expensive. Everything is so expensive. I want it for free. I want it for free. I want it for free. Listen. We're going to try to give you as much free resources as possible. But at some point in time, you got to invest in yourself. You got to invest in yourself. If you want to be in this career field, you got to invest something in yourself. Try Hack Me has got free rooms. Go do all the free rooms on Try Hack Me. Capture the Flags are free. Go do all the Capture the Flags. Those are free things that you can do to prepare yourself for using the tools that you will use on OSCP. But there is nowhere to take the OSCP material for free. What you're asking for, does anybody got hacked materials of OSCP? Does anybody giving away the OSCP study guide so that I can study on my own? Sorry, that's just not going to happen. Small soapbox. Which book should I read after Pen Tester Blueprint? Go read Cybersecurity Master Plan by Gerald Auger, Jax, John Helmus. Go read that book. That's my new book recommendation. Last question, and then we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Do you prefer VirtualBox or VMware Fusion? I prefer VMware Fusion. I've always been a VMware fan for a really, really, really long time. So I'm a VMware Fusion kind of fan. Take it for what it is. It's VMware Fusion. All right. Awesome. Fantastic stream tonight. I want to thank the CyberSN team for being in chat. Deirdre, look for a message from me. Hopefully, opportunity to have you on stream in the near future. I want to give a huge shout out to the 10 new members that we got tonight. Thank you so very much for supporting the stream tonight as well. Thank you to all the super chats that we got tonight. Thank you so very much to everybody for tuning in. As you can tell, we are over here on YouTube. Please help get the word out that we have transitioned away from Twitch over to YouTube for our live streams. We will continue to do these here on YouTube and continue to transition between now and October 1st away from YouTube, or away from Twitch over to YouTube. We are starting to, as you can tell, add some very meaningful perks to replace the perks that were lost from the Twitch folks as we transition over. On October 1st, things to keep in mind. On October 1st, we will be shutting off the integration with Discord and Twitch. And so that means that the integration for YouTube and Discord is active, which means that we need you to sync your Discord username and your YouTube usernames so that you can make sure that you get your benefits from being members in the stream. This does include sub chat. I want to make a huge note of this. A lot of you've gotten into sub chat because of gifted subs. YouTube doesn't do gifted subs. We've tried to lower that barrier to entry as low as we could on the membership tier. But we did re-add in the sub chat in on the Narwhal Prime, I think, membership tier. So if you do anticipate to be in sub chat and get that benefit of hanging out with us in sub chat and getting that access to a lot of us in sub chat after October 1st, your Twitch subs, your Twitch integrations will go away. Needs to be done over on YouTube. Please keep me abreast if you're having integration problems on YouTube. We're all working through this YouTube transition. And so we do truly appreciate the pains and all going through that together. Most of the mod team is going through it as well. So we appreciate it. Old Guy Wednesday on Wednesday. Tea with a Hacker on Friday morning. Got some great guests lined up. Do make sure you hit that exclamation point partners. Do support our partners in chat. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our partners as well. Thank you so very much for your support. I got nothing else to say other than I love you all so much. Thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see all of you back on Wednesday for Old Guy Wednesday.